Good morning, all of you. Welcome to my channel named Gaurav Kumar Jain. First of all, thank you very much, all of you, for joining me at this time in this tutorial. This tutorial is to tell you that how you can things about a database management system. So, suppose you want to develop a system like this, uh, student management system. So how can you do it with the help of Python? So the coding is very simple. The kind of coding which we use in what we call it website development, the same thing we can do in Python also for developing these kind of amazingly beautiful softwares. Let me first tell you how this software functions, how this software works. So if you want to make an entry, you can simply do it like this. Let's first enter a roll number over here. So it is 4. Then let's enter a name. So Anubhav Chen I am entering. Let's enter an email address anubhav@gmail.com. Then let's select the gender from here. So male contact. Let me just write an arbitrary an random number over here. Then 7th of August 1999. Let's say his address is UP 201002. Fine. Now, in order to add this information or add this profile in the database, we can hit this add button. Let me first show you the database. So I've connected this project of mine with this phpmyadmin. This is also a kind of you can say database, where relational database, which you can use for your website, which you can use for your applications. So right now only 3 records are present over here, as you can see. Let me hit this add button and see what is going to happen. So as you can see, I've successfully added the record to this database over here. Let's see whether this record is getting reflected over there in my PHP admin or not. So yes, we have the record over here. No, that record hasn't come here. Maybe I need to refresh it once. Okay, so the record is getting reflected over here also. Right, so that is how you can add a record to the database. Now if you want to select a record, you can simply select it by your mouse click. Now suppose you want to delete this record from here. Okay, so how you'll do it? You can use this delete option. So the record has been deleted successfully. Let's see whether the record is visible to us in my PHP admin or not. So I need to refresh it once. Done with refreshing the table, and as you can see now, that record is not visible to us anymore, which we just deleted through this software. Let us select the record of Amit Singh and let's make some updations over here. So let's say his ID has changed from amit@gmail.com to amit123@gmail.com, and his phone number is has also changed, and rest everything is same. So we can hit this update button for updating the records. So you can see the record has been updated successfully. See, the phone number is changed, and then the email ID has also changed. Let's see whether we can see the same changes over here also or not. Yes, we are able to see the changes over here too. Right, so that is how the software works. Let me select one of the records and use this clear button and see what's going to happen. So if I will hit this clear button, all the records will go away. Okay, let's search the database with the help of roll number. So if you want to if you're looking for roll number 2 information. Okay, so you can select roll number from here, and then you can put 2 over here. The size of this box is a bit small. I need to increase it. We'll do it later on. Let us first see whether this search button is working or not. So see, I'm able to fetch the record of roll number 2. Similarly, if you want to search for anything by name, so you can use name and then you can put the name over here. And let me just search for Samir Singh. Let's see whether we have anything like this in the records or not. Yes, we do have a record for Samir Singh also. If you want to check out all the records in one go, you can simply hit this search all button and you will get to see all the records like this over here in this details frame. So basically what I have done, I have used the title thing for putting the student management system right on the top. Then I've divided the body section into two different parts. In this first part, you can you can see all the input boxes and this text area where you can put all the information. You can use this field basically for managing your student management system, for adding some details or for updating the things in your database, for deleting the records, for clearing these input boxes. And here you can use these buttons for searching something for in your database. If you are searching for some record, you can do it very easily with the help of these the search button and search all, and here you'll get to see the entire database. Fine, so let's now come on the coding section. Let me see if I have anything to answer in the chat box. Okay, so I think everything is fine. I don't see any query in the chat box. Let me come on the coding section now and explain you about the lines of code I've used over here. So this is a package which I have used for the student management system, right? And I've connected it with my phpmyadmin, right? So that is the reason I have imported py Python mysql library. Then that's the main class, student. Fine, and that is where I defined the title of the project, student management system. Here I configured the geometry of the window. Uh, then uh, I packed my title here on the top of the what we call it window. Here are all the variables I have used. So if you'll see here in this student management system, there are in total 7 fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for these 7 fields, I have defined these 7 variables and I've initialized them with this string var function. Okay, then then let me just show you the code for this left section. Okay, the frame which you are able to see in the left side of this window. So the code for that is this. Fine, that's the whole code. Now let me just explain you this code. So I've created a frame first, right? And that's the function I've used for positioning this frame on my window. Then for giving it this title manage students, I have used this label named function, and for putting it on this frame I have used this grid. For positioning it on this manage frame I have used this grid. So the concept is basically very simple. You have to create a frame first, and after that you have to create these labels individually. You have to define codes for these label boxes, and while defining the code for the label boxes, you have, because we want to put it on the manage frame, right, which is the left frame, so we'll have to pass it as a parameter to this label named function, and then this whole thing is going to come. Fine. Background color for BG, FGs for foreground color. And the best part is you can customize it the way you want it to look. You can customize the view, you can customize the function, you can customize the whole working of this student management system. Then the same code I have used for this roll number also. So I've just copied this code and pasted it over here. Fine. For creating this input box, that's the function I've used, entry. Right, and because the user is going to enter the roll number over here, and we need to pick up the roll number afterwards, so as to make it so as to make use of it later on in the in the programming. So that is the reason I have linked this entry field with my text variable named roll number var, which I defined right on the top over here with the help of this text variable property. That's the way you can link a variable with an input box or some field. Right, so whatever the user is going to enter in this field, it is going to come automatically in this roll number now. Fine. And make sure that you have used self with everything. Okay, then label, then I've copied this whole thing and I pasted it over here. uh, Simply you have to make the required changes over here. For example, the name should be NAME, so we have to change the text to name. So it was roll number for this roll number field, and it should be name for this name field. That's the reason I've changed the name. Then I need to link it with the variable named name var. So that's what I changed here, the name of the variable. Then again I did the same thing for this email part. Right, everything is same. I have just changed the text and the text variable field. Okay, then for this gender, now we have a combo box here in which you can see three different values: male, female, other. Now how you can create a combo box? So for that you can use the ttk library, ttk thing or ttk function present in tkinter library. So you have to import that first, and then you can use this function named combo box present in ttk for creating a combo box. That's the way you can define the values for your combo box, and then you can define the position of your combo box. Right. The next thing is the contact. Fine, so I've used the same code which I used over here for creating this label box and this input box. Then same thing I've done for this DOB, and then we have this label address. Right, so for this one, because it's a text area, not an input box where you can, what is the difference between a text area and input box? Input box is a one line thing, right? You can write down many things, but everything is going to come in one line. Here the line changes, it's a multi-line input box, you can say. So for creating this kind of text area, you can make use of text named function. Fine, rest everything is going to remain the same. Then I have created a frame again over here inside this left frame, and I've placed all the four buttons: add button, update button, delete button, clear button, on this button frame which I've created using this code. Right, it's very easy to place them on this frame. If you know about x coordinate, y coordinate, you can use properties like width, height for customizing the window, customizing the dimension of this frame. Fine, so it's very easy, it's very simple. Let me show you the entire code. So that's the whole code, and grid is the function which again you can make use of for customizing the size of your input box and your address area, text area, sorry. Then I created this right frame, which you are able to see on the right hand side of this window, where the search all buttons are there. Then this table is there. So for that, I have used this simple code. So I created a frame named detail frame first, and then that's the code I've used for creating this search combo box. Fine. Then that's the code I've used for creating this text search. This text search input box which you're able to see over here. But the text over here inside this input box is very small. If you want to enlarge the size, I can simply use do it like this. Let's make it 12, and I'm closing this window, saving the changes, and I'm again going to run the code. Let's see what is going to happen, whether we'll be, yes. So see, the text box is now bigger in size, but what the issue is, we're not able to see the buttons anymore. So we'll have to customize it a little bit more. We can change its width to, I think, how about 30? I think 30 is going to be a good option. Yes. So you can see now whatever I'm typing here, it is visible to me. If you want to increase the font size a little bit more, yes, we can do that too, like this. So now it is looking perfectly fine, right? So if I have to search for roll number 2, suppose, I can do it very easily, and everything is visible to us over here. So that is how you can customize the whole appearance, whole view of this software, because you have made it or you are going to make it. Okay, so that's the code for both the search buttons. You are able to see over here on the right side on the top of this detail frame. That's the code I've used for creating this table, which you are able to see on this detail frame present on the right side. For the scroll bars, which you are able to see on the in the bottom and on the right side, that's the whole code you can use for creating scroll bars. And then for packing them with this table, you can use this pack function. For configuring them, again you can make use of this config named function. So then we have used this command for linking them to the students table view. Fine. uh, what else do we have over here? Okay, so the headings which you are able to see over here inside the table, roll number, name, email, for fetching them you can make use of this heading named function. So just put the names of the headings over here, and where are you going to pick up the values of these headings? So that is what you have to define with the help of the text property, like the way I have done it over here. Student table show headings. So it will see, if I will remove this from here, what is going to happen? I've commented out this code. Let's close this window, save the changes, and running the code. So what is going to happen? We are able to see a space over here. Why? Because if you are using this student table view or any kind of table view, so Python automatically generates index numbers for each entry you make in the table. Now, if you do not want to see the entries, if you don't want to see the index numbers, so you can simply make use of this line of code, student table show headings. And now if you will save the changes and run the code, so the index numbers column will not be visible to you, right? Do we have any queries? Okay, no queries. Then see, if I am selecting any of the records, just a second, I need to close this window. Perfect. Yep, now it is fine. So I need to run this code first, and if I am hitting any of these records present over here in this table, so what is happening? Automatically the data is coming over here in these input boxes and this text area. Now how am I able to do this? So I've used this simple code. Where is that? Yeah, that's the one. So when I am clicking, when I'm releasing my mouse button, that's the function which the interpreter is executing. Let me just show you that function's code. So this is the one. So what it is doing for us, it is fetching the content. Okay, it is pulling the content from the student named table, or you can say from the student table. This is a student table. Okay, it is pulling the content from here, and it is storing it in the form of list in this variable named row. Now with the help of index numbers, right? For example, this record is present on index number 0. This is present on index number 1. So it will, the records will get pulled up in the form of list, and they will be, that list will be stored in this row named, what we call it, variable. And then you, from this variable, we are pulling the records one by one in these 7 fields using the index number concept. Fine. And for text area, I have used 1.0 to end. Why? 1.0 represents the starting point. That is, if you are pulling the details of this record right over here in these input boxes, so that's the address. So this is where the address is starting from K, and it is ending at ending on this parenthesis, right? So if you want to pull this entire thing, you can make use of this simple code. Okay, it's very simple. Then what else do we have? Let me go back on this code. Yeah, so then what we are doing, the moment we are hitting anything, the records are getting fetched from this table, and the software is putting them in these input boxes like this. And so that's the function which is helping us in doing that. Now the next function we have is this add students function, which we have binded to this add named button present in the bottom. Now what is this doing? We have used an SQL query over here, which is helping us in inserting the values in the students named tables. Where is that students named table? It is present over here in my phpmyadmin database. So it's a relational database. You guys know about it very well. If you don't know, you can avail coding classes. Definitely, we are going to learn a lot many things in the coding classes. Uh, just like these softwares, we are going to develop many softwares in the coding classes. So you can insert the values in the students named table. That's a simple SQL query I have used. I'm pulling the values from these input boxes, and I am using them for filling up the details in this students named table. Then con.commit, and then fetch data and clear function will be called automatically. Now what is there in this fetch data? That's the function which is going to help us in pulling all the records from the students named table. So it is again an SQL query I have used for pulling all the records from the students named table, and it is going to help us in doing that and getting all the records reflected over here in this table. Fine. Then what do we have in this clear named table? So once you will commit the transaction, once you will commit the records, or once you will hit this add button, automatically this clear function will be called. Means everything, when the interpreter will execute this clear function, it will eliminate everything you have written over here and will make them empty, right? It will make all the input boxes and this text area empty. That's what this clear function will do for us. Okay, then what else do we have? For searching the data, I have used this function, right? So that is again an SQL query I have used here. Select aspect from students, where the search drop, so search drop is this, and this is the search text. So select asterisk from students, where this, like this. Fine, that is the query I have used here for the search module, which you are able to see on my student management system. And what else do we have for updating the system? That's the whole code. Again, this simple SQL query has been used. If you do not know about SQL, you can avail the coding classes. The number is given right below the frame in which you are able to see my video. Then for deleting the data from this table, we can simply use this delete option, right? So we have successfully deleted the item which we selected, and you can see here the whole code for this delete data named function, which is being called when I clicked this delete named button over here present in this button frame. So, that's the whole code I've used for creating this amazingly beautiful student management system. Let me just show you the entire code once. So you can just try it out at your end. If you face any difficulty, you can let me know in the comment section. I am there to help you guys out. And you're most welcome to avail the coding classes also. If you want any help from me, definitely you are going to enjoy each and every second of the coding classes. I'm going to start with maths and science classes also very soon. So besides computers, now you will learn maths and science also from me, and you're going to enjoy everything a lot, definitely. I would request you in the end to please like and share this video in your group so as to make it reach to the maximum students possible, so that they can also come and enjoy these beautiful classes on my YouTube channel. Let me now come on my YouTube channel and see if I have anything to answer. So there is no query in the chat box. This is it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial.